My English was terrible. The Arnold Schwarzenegger story. Introduction. I'll be back. Hasta la vista, baby. Get to the chopper. You know these lines. You know the voice. It is deep, it is strong, and it has a very specific accent. It is the voice of Arnold Schwarzenegger. Today, Arnold is an icon. He is a Hollywood superstar, a successful businessman, and the former governor of California. He speaks to millions of people, and everyone listens. But imagine a different picture. Imagine a 21-year-old boy arriving in America in 1968. He is huge. He has mountains of muscle, but he looks scared. He stands in the airport, holding a cheap gym bag. He tries to speak to the taxi driver, but the driver just looks at him and says, "What?" Arnold's English was not just bad. It was terrible. He knew maybe 50 words. He confused me and my. He couldn't pronounce the letter W. Agents told him, "You will never be a star with that accent." So how did he do it? How did a poor boy from a small Austrian village conquer America without knowing the language? In this video, we are going to tell the incredible story of Arnold's journey with English. It is a story of embarrassment, hard work, and endless repetition. We will learn the vocabulary of immigration, determination, and success. And most importantly, we will see that if Arnold could learn English, you can learn it too. Let's pump some iron and some vocabulary. Chapter 1. The Austrian Dream. Our story begins in a tiny village called Thal, in Austria. The year is 1947. Arnold was born into a strict family. His father was a police officer. They had no money. They had no fridge, no phone, and no toilet inside the house. But Arnold had a vision. When he was a teenager, he saw a magazine with a picture of Reg Park. Reg Park was a bodybuilder who became Hercules in the movies. Arnold looked at the picture and said, "I want to be like him. I want to go to America. I want to be in movies." His parents thought he was crazy. "America," they said. "Learn a trade. Become a carpenter or a police officer like your father." But Arnold didn't listen to the naysayers. Vocabulary check. Naysayer. A naysayer is a person who always says no. A person who says you can't do it. Arnold started training. He trained for 5 hours a day. He became the best bodybuilder in Europe. But he knew that to reach his dream, he had to leave. He didn't speak English at school. He was too busy lifting heavy rocks. When he finally got a ticket to America in 1968, he was 21 years old. He had a body of steel, but his English skills were zero. Chapter 2. Lost in Translation. Arnold landed in Los Angeles. It was a different world. The lights were bright, the cars were big, and everyone spoke fast. He faced the language barrier immediately. The Gold's Gym problem. Arnold went to the famous Gold's Gym. He could communicate with other bodybuilders using gym language. You know, pointing at weights, grunting, nodding. Muscles are an international language, but outside the gym, life was hard. He lived in a small apartment with very little furniture. He struggled with basic tasks. Ordering food was a nightmare. He would go to a restaurant and point at the menu. Waiter: "How would you like your eggs?" Arnold: "Yes." Waiter: "Scrambled or fried?" Arnold: "Yes." "Eggs." He felt lonely. He said in his biography, "I felt like I was cut off from the world. I had thoughts in my head, but I couldn't get them out." This is a feeling many of you know. You are smart in your native language, but you feel like a child in English. The TV method. Arnold didn't have money for expensive tutors yet, so he used the television. He watched the news. He watched cartoons. Cartoons are actually great for learners because they speak slowly and clearly. He would sit in front of the TV and repeat every word. News anchor: "The president is in Washington." Arnold: "The président is in Washington." He was using a primitive version of the shadow technique. He didn't know it was a real method. He just did it instinctively. By the way, if you want to know how to do this correctly to fix your accent, watch my full guide, The Shadowing Technique, Speak Like a Native. It explains exactly what Arnold was doing. Chapter 3: The Student of Life. Arnold realized that watching TV was not enough. He was ambitious. He didn't just want to be a bodybuilder, he wanted to be a businessman. So, the big Austrian oak, his nickname, did something surprising. He went to school. He enrolled in Santa Monica College to take ESL classes, English as a second language, and business classes. Imagine the scene: a classroom full of normal students. And in the middle, a 115-kilogram mountain of muscle holding a tiny pen. The hardest words. Arnold struggled with specific sounds. German is a hard language. English is a soft language. His biggest enemy was the letter W. In German, W sounds like V. So Arnold would say, "I want to work out," instead of want and work. He also struggled with the TH sound. He would say, "the muscle," instead of "the muscle." Vocabulary, check. Accent. Everyone has an accent. An accent is simply how your voice sounds based on where you are from. Arnold's accent was thick, very strong. But Arnold applied his bodybuilding philosophy to English. In the gym, if you want big biceps, you do reps, repetitions. You lift the weight 10 times, 20 times, 100 times. Arnold treated words like weights. He would write a word on a piece of paper. California. He would say it 50 times. He didn't stop until his mouth hurt. This dedication helped him survive. He started a bricklaying business with his friend Franco to make money. He had to talk to customers. Customer: "Can you build a wall?" Arnold: "We build best wall in world." He learned street English. Slang, insults, and jokes. Chapter 4: You will never be a star. By the 1970s, Arnold was the most famous bodybuilder in the world. He had won the Mr. Olympia title many times. He decided it was time for Phase 2, Hollywood. He went to agents and producers. He told them, "I want to be a leading man, like Clint Eastwood." Do you know what they did? They laughed. They laughed at his body. "You are too big." They laughed at his name. "Schwarzenegger. It's too long. Nobody can pronounce it. Change it to Arnold Strong." But mostly, they laughed at his English. One agent told him, "Arnold, listen to me. You have an accent that cuts like a knife. It scares people. Maybe you can play a Nazi soldier or a monster without lines, but a hero? Never." This was a crushing moment. Imagine someone telling you that your voice is ugly, that you are not American enough. But Arnold went back to his rules. Rule: turn your weakness into a strength. He hired acting coaches. He hired accent coaches. He didn't try to remove his accent completely. That is almost impossible. He tried to make it clear. He practiced for hours. He read scripts. He worked on his rhythm. If you struggle with speaking clearly, you probably have the same problem Arnold had. Your mouth muscles are trained for your native language. I explain how to fix this in my video, How to Train Your Mouth to Speak English. You need to go to the mouth gym, just like Arnold did. Chapter 5. The Breakthrough. Arnold's first few movies were not great. In his first movie, Hercules in New York, they actually dubbed his voice. Another actor spoke for him. It was embarrassing. But then came 1982, Conan the Barbarian. It was a perfect role. Conan was a savage warrior from a distant land. He didn't need to speak like an Oxford professor. Arnold's strange accent actually made sense. It made him sound exotic and tough. But the real turning point was The Terminator, 1984. Director James Cameron was looking for an actor to play a robot from the future. He met Arnold. He listened to Arnold speak. The voice was flat. It was mechanical. It was precise. Cameron thought, "This is perfect. He sounds like a machine." The weakness became the strength. The line in the script was, "I'll come back." Arnold argued with the director. He thought, "I'll be back" sounded stronger. The machine-like pronunciation made it iconic. "I'll be back." Suddenly, everyone in America was imitating Arnold's accent. Kids at school, comedians on TV. They weren't laughing at him anymore. They were copying him because he was cool. He became the biggest movie star on the planet. He learned complex scripts. He gave interviews on talk shows. He was fluent. Chapter 6. The Governor. Being a movie star is one thing. You can memorize lines. You can do many takes. But in 2003, Arnold decided to run for governor of California. This is the highest level of English difficulty. Politics requires debate. You have to answer difficult questions live on TV. You have to talk about economics, law, and education. You cannot say, "Hasta la vista," to a budget problem. His opponents attacked him. They said, "He can't pronounce California correctly. He says California. He is not smart enough." But Arnold had spent 30 years reading, listening, and speaking. His vocabulary was rich. He could make jokes in English. He could persuade people. He won the election. The boy who couldn't order eggs in a restaurant became the leader of the fifth largest economy in the world. During his time as governor, he gave hundreds of speeches. Was his grammar perfect? No. He still made small mistakes with prepositions. He still had a strong accent. But he was a great communicator. He spoke with passion. He spoke with confidence. And people understood him perfectly. This proves a very important point for you. You don't need to be perfect to be a leader. You just need to be clear and confident. If you want to know how to speak confidently, even when you make mistakes, check out my video, The Job Interview Nightmare. I talk about how confidence is more important than grammar. Chapter 7. Arnold's Rules for Learning English. So, what can we learn from the Austrian oak? I have analyzed his journey and found 4 golden rules for English learners. Rule 1. Have a vision. Arnold didn't just want to learn English. He wanted to be a star. Why are you learning English? Is it for a better job? To travel? To find love? If your vision is weak, your motivation will die. You need a clear goal. Rule 2. Reps, reps, reps. There is no magic pill. You cannot learn English in your sleep. Arnold said, "Everything is about reps. You have to repeat the words. You have to write the sentences. You have to speak the phrases 50 times. It is boring. It is hard. But it is the only way." Rule 3. Don't be afraid to look stupid. Arnold looked stupid many times. He wore ridiculous clothes in movies. He mispronounced words on TV. He didn't care. He had an ego, but he wasn't afraid of mistakes. If you are too proud to make mistakes, you will stay silent. Remember my story about the airport? I made a huge mistake and missed my flight. Watch the mistake that cost me my flight. If you want a good laugh. But I learned from it. Rule 4. Stay hungry. Even when he was a millionaire, Arnold kept taking classes. He never said, "Okay, my English is good enough." He always wanted to be better. Learning a language is a lifelong journey. You never really finish. Conclusion. Today, Arnold Schwarzenegger is over 70 years old. When he speaks, you still hear Austria. You still hear the village of Thal. But you also hear America. His English is not standard. It is Arnold's English. It is unique. It is powerful. If you are sitting there thinking, "My English is terrible. I will never speak well. I am too old. I am too busy." Think of Arnold. Think of the 21-year-old boy with the gym bag who couldn't say eggs. He didn't let the language barrier stop him. He smashed through it, like the Terminator smashing through a wall. You have the same 24 hours in a day as Arnold. You have resources he didn't have. YouTube, the internet, apps. You have no excuse. Start your reps today. Learn 5 new words. Shadow 1 video, read 1 page, and remember his famous words. You can't climb the ladder of success with your hands in your pockets. If this story inspired you, please hit the like button. And if you want to start doing your reps right now, I have 2 videos for you. First, the shadowing technique to fix your accent. Second, how to remember everything to help you keep those new words in your brain. What is your favorite Arnold movie? And which quote do you like the most? Tell me in the comments below. I'll be back in the next video.